Hi everyone, welcome back to part 2 of TemTem. Last episode we went ahead and started a new playthrough and I did select a starter and traveled to the very first town, which is called Brical. Trust me, this is just the start. All of the names in this game are super weird. I'll try my best to pronounce them, but if I do make a mistake, let me know in the comment section. I'm actually pretty excited to start up this episode as well, as we are making our way to a town called Arissola. That is where we'll be challenging the first dojo master. I believe we have already met her in the last episode and she is called Sophia. Hopefully we do get to catch a couple more TemTems on the way there. We do have a long route and I'm super excited to go through it. Now, as for the TemTems that I did catch in the last episode, here are 6 of them. But I won't be really using all of these team members. Now, I did mention about how Kaku and Swali here are both nature TemTems and they're kind of similar. The only difference being that Swali here doesn't really get that many variety in its moveset, while Kaku does. Initially, I wanted to use Swali just because of its ability, which actually prevents it getting hit by poison type moves, which it's super effective against. But I decided finally to go back to Kaku as I've used it before. I know it's super defensive and does get a variety of moveset that I'll be able to easily use. Of course, you can definitely try out using Swali as well if you're playing this game. Let me know how well it goes with that. Other than that, I think I'll go ahead and use Saipat, which is another one of the TemTems. It's a TemTem that I didn't use in my previous playthrough, but I have seen that it's a really good one, especially since people have been talking about it in the internet. So I'll give it a go. As for Paharo here, I think I'll skip this one out. Hauchik is actually my starter, so it will be in my team. Regardless of all of this, I think it's time for me to go ahead and start this episode. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and look around Brical itself. We do have a couple of side quests that are actually available for this one. Although I must say, some of the side quests that you do get cannot be actually completed right now unless you do get a certain item. This item is only obtained once you do defeat the dojo master, so I definitely have to wait for it. For now, the first place that I'm going to is right here. This is Louise's shop and I believe that we need to get a certain item that's pretty important. It's actually called the Temisense file. At least that's how I believe it's pronounced. You use this item to heal up all of your team members at once. But you can also go ahead and refill it each time you go to the Temporium to heal up your TemTems. It's definitely a super useful item considering that the routes in this game are super long. I think it will help you if you heal up your team members midway. That way you can actually stop yourself from going back and forth to heal up your TemTems. Either way, it's an item that I haven't really used till now. Even though I went so far into the game in my previous playthrough, I never used it. So hopefully I'll be able to use it in this one at least. Either way, we are also supposed to get a surfboard. Unfortunately, he has run out. I guess he gave out his last surfboard. Hopefully we'll be able to find it somewhere else, or maybe someone else will give us. Either way, as far as the quests go, I believe that we would have to actually wait. Although there is one that we can actually complete right away. That is the quest with these 2 girls here. Apparently they are in a relationship and they had a fight and they want us to help them, talk to each other once more. We can definitely help with that. Of course, to complete this one, you'll actually need to have a specific TemTem. It's actually a Paharo and you'll be able to find it in the route that we just went through. So you'll definitely have it. If you are planning to use it in your team, catch another extra one. In my case, I'm really not using it, so I'll definitely be able to give this one to her. In between this, I actually went back and switched up my team members. I only have around 4 TemTems in my team right now. As for the other things, the other quests I believe will be only completed once I do have a certain item. So for now, I will skip this one. Once I do get the surfboard and also complete defeating the Dojo Master Sophia, I'll be coming back here. Right now we are going up through this route and we have our very first tamer here. Pretty cool. Let's see which new TemTems are actually available in this route. Ooh, we are going against 2 of them. I guess I didn't see the second one. Both of these TemTems we've already seen. We'll actually be able to catch one of them in this route, which I'll be doing offline. Now at certain points of this route there is a cliff that you can actually climb, but unfortunately we don't have the item for it. Once we do get that item, going through this route will be super easy. Right now I'm just gonna go ahead and try to defeat both of these TemTems. Now I didn't really train up any of my TemTems other than Kapu, who was at level 3, and I felt that wouldn't really help in any of these battles. But of course today Ho-Chick is doing way better. I believe it was just going down in the last episode, but as it has got some new moves, it is able to do more damage. And I'm also figuring out the type match. As you can see, I am getting 2x hit, which is pretty good. As for Piggy Pig here, unfortunately I still do not have a electric type TemTem in my team. But of course I don't really have to worry too much about it, as we'll be able to find one right in this route. All I have to do is move on a bit forward. We also have Umishi, which is another new TemTem. It is actually a water type one, and I believe we'll be able to find it in this route itself. Unfortunately, you do have to have a surfboard to actually encounter it. So I'll be coming back on a later stage to surf on the lake that's available in this route to catch this TemTem. Now I definitely missed on talking about the background music for this game. I must say the background music for the battle is super cool. I really enjoyed listening to it. It's definitely fast paced and does help kind of with the battle pace as well. One of the main mechanisms that I did talk about in my last episode for battling is the stamina. If you don't keep your eye on it, it is pretty easy to lose your HP with it. I don't believe we'll be able to see it that much right now, but once we do go a bit more forward and we are going against some tough trainers, maybe then we'll be able to see it much clearly. Either way, let me move on forward. I don't think I missed any items. As far as the items go for this game, initially I really didn't find that many, but the more forward you go through the storyline, I feel like the more items you get. So definitely I don't really expect that many items in this first area. Either way, there is definitely a special quest for stickers. I believe I mentioned this one in the last episode, but we are actually gonna go ahead and get that quest in this one. The only thing that I did find that was a bit tougher was actually identifying the stickers on the ground. They come through as a couple of sparkles, and sometimes it's a bit difficult to actually find them, especially if you are trying to find them on the sandy beach or when you're looking at in a different angle. Either way, these stickers are super helpful. You do have an album where you can actually go ahead and stick these stickers. I'll go ahead and show that out in another episode, maybe once we do pick out a couple of them. We also get some items for the number of stickers that we have collected. I believe we have around 200 stickers that are available in this game, and not all are available in pristine stage. Some of these stickers are actually damaged, and we do have, I believe, an NPC in one of the regions who will actually go ahead and I guess repair these stickers for us. That will definitely be a key, especially if we want to complete our sticker book. Either way, it seems that we are actually battling another tamer. Of course, all of these battles are going to be a bit difficult, considering that most of these tamers do have water TemTems. Once we do get a really good electric TemTem, we shouldn't have too much of an issue. Thankfully, this is a really good chance for me to go ahead and level up my TemTems that are in lower level. Hopefully, I don't have to go back and forth multiple times. Here's the fourth one. One of the other things that I really like in this game is that each of the steamers, they do have a special dialogue for you. Some of them have a complete conversation where you're siding with one or the other tamer, and some of them are pretty hilarious. I would definitely recommend going through the dialogues that these tamers have, especially if you are going through this game. Either way, the main goal for this episode would definitely be going through and leveling up my team. The next area, which is another huge town and pretty important for this area. By the way, this area is actually called Dennis. I can't actually believe that I went through an entire episode of around 30 to 40 minutes and never mentioning the name of this area. Each of these areas in this game has its own name. For now, we are in Dennis and we'll be going through this area. There are at least, I believe, 3 more locations that we're yet to go to and a couple more routes. We also have a huge cave system which I will be exploring. But of course, unfortunately, just like the other routes in Dennis, we won't be able to completely explore it unless we have a couple of equipments. So I might come back to this area once I do get a couple of equipments in other areas. Either way, seems that we have defeated the steamer as well. I'll definitely try to show all of the TemTems in each of these routes as much as possible. For a couple of routes, we might have to come back on a later stage to explore it. But for now, in this route, we do get Piggypeck. This is a TemTem that I actually want to catch, especially for a side quest. So let me quickly try and catch one. Unfortunately, it seems that we are having a bit of a trouble. This is mainly because I have not yet healed up my TemTems. But for now, let me at least try and catch one of these. Decide to go with the right side one. I'm actually not gonna add this one to my team, but it's just gonna be here with me right now, at least until I do complete these side quests. As for the second one, I think we can actually go ahead and quickly defeat it. Unfortunately, my tripod is actually completely exhausted, so I do have to give it some rest. This is what I meant when I was talking about the stamina, where you do have to give your TemTems a bit of a rest. Either way, that was pretty good experience. Made my way back to Brical, and the house that is right behind the post sign is the one that I was looking for. This kid right here is the one that wants to see a Piggypeck, which is pretty nice. I already have one in my team which I just caught, so let me quickly go ahead and show this one to her. She's definitely super excited to see it. Right, we do get a revive in turn. Revive is a pretty good item. I believe that buying it in the shop is pretty difficult considering that it costs us a lot. This quest was definitely a way to get one. Either way, I'm back on the route, and as you can see, I was making my way north and we were able to encounter a TemTem. This is one of the ones that I want to add to my team. It's a electric TemTem, but once it does evolve after a couple of levels, it will actually evolve into part wind TemTem. Although I'm not really sure if I need another wind TemTem, considering that Kaku also evolves into one. The electric typing is something that I really need, so I'm definitely gonna try and catch it. Now there are 2 different abilities for this TemTem. The one that I'm trying to find is actually Inductor, which I did get right here. Pretty good. And also it seems that it's already a wind TemTem, which is pretty cool. Kaku here is also getting some really good new moves, which is helpful. As far as all of the TemTem evolution goes, most of these TemTems do evolve after 20 to 30 levels, which is pretty high. But of course, if you do have Kaku or Swali in your team, those two do evolve pretty fast, I believe around 12 levels. So you will have a fully evolved TemTem pretty early in the game. In this case, I'm hoping that my Kaku will soon evolve, at least by the time I do reach the second town. Right here is a lady that apparently knew us from before, and is actually a good friend of our mom, which is surprising. We do get a couple of NPCs that actually know us from before, which is really good. I think this is another nice thing in this game. Either way, here is Lolai, which is actually the evolution of Swali. As you can see, it looks super cool, but unfortunately I don't think we'll be able to catch its evolution in this area. But if you do wait a bit more, you'll be able to catch its fully evolved form in the very next area, so you can definitely catch it over there. As for defeating it, I completely forgot that poison type moves are super effective against it. Hopefully it has the ability that doesn't prevent poison type moves. At this point, I also decided to go ahead and bring out Genki, which is my newer TemTem. This will actually help it level up a bit faster. I definitely need it around the same level as my other team members, just to make sure that it is able to do a bit more damage. Either way, that is on that. Now this is the lake I was talking about, where you will be able to surf on later. But for now, I think my TemTems are healed up enough to go through these two. Apparently they are calling us poor and a peasant, which is really not that nice. But I believe they will keep quiet once we do defeat them. Definitely we do have a variety of characters in this game, and it's super nice to see their dialogue. They also seem to have the starter TemTems, which is surprising. Alright. This is the first time we are actually seeing a Smazzy on the field. I believe the last time we saw it, it was in Professor's laboratory. In this case, it's much easier for me to take them both down, as I do have a variety of moveset and Kaku. Thankfully, it did survive right here with 2 HP. Let's see if we can actually go ahead and, almost take down Smazzy. The reason why I needed Inductor Genki is because if it does use a electric type move, it's able to partially heal itself. I believe it's a super helpful or a useful ability, so I'm pretty happy that I was able to find it in the very first turn. I believe in the last playthrough that I went through, it actually didn't have the ability Inductor, so I did have a bit more difficulty. The other ability that it does get is probably called Resistance, which I'm really not sure what it does, but it was not that helpful. Either way, we seem to have a house here, and Fariha is this old lady right here who is talking about collecting special stickers. These were quite famous back in the day, but apparently now they are actually quite rare. She's hoping to collect all of them, and since we did agree that we would actually help her, she has given the book to us. The book right now is actually completely empty, but I'm pretty excited to take on this challenge. Here's our next tamer. This one I believe is an optional tamer, but as I mentioned before, I like to go ahead and defeat all of them in each of these routes. Especially since I do get some extra experience. Let me quickly try and defeat this tamer as well. Unfortunately, it seems that I forgot to heal up my TemTems. Let's see if we can actually defeat first. It seems that she does have 2 of them, but I believe both of them have the ability Resistance instead of Inductor. Otherwise, they would have healed up a bit of their HP after each of the turn. So there we go. We are able to do some amount of damage. At this point, I must say Kaku is my strongest team member. Unfortunately, it did go down right here and I do have to switch out. Saipat will not be able to help me that much considering that there is a electric type on the field. But thankfully I was able to take it down in one hit. I believe Saipat will actually evolve after 25 levels. At least that's what I'm guessing. I believe this is one of the cons of this game where all of these TemTems do actually evolve in a really high level. As far as I remember, most of them evolved around 40 to 50 level, which is pretty high. Especially when you're going through a game that is this long. Your TemTems will probably evolve in the third area, which is like a very long time to have these TemTems. Hopefully I don't have too much trouble with the ones that I have in my team. Right there I did go back and heal up all of them. I could have used the Temasium Feel in between, but I completely forgot about that item, so just ignore it if I am going back and forth. Here's our next tamer, and alright, he has 2 evolved TemTems, which is pretty frustrating. Yukama is the evolved form of Umishi, which we have seen before, and Carabas is also another evolved form of a TemTem that we have seen before. These two are super strong and have some powerful moves. The only move that's really doing damage is definitely the nature type move that Kaku has. Sharp Leaf is gonna help me, but I definitely hope that Saipat can actually be on field and not go down. We get hit pretty hard and do get poisoned as well. But at least we are able to take down one of the TemTems. That's good. It does give a lot more experience since it is fully evolved. I wonder how this tamer was able to achieve it, considering that these TemTems are evolving at a pretty high level as well. Maybe they did a cheat code or something like that. Either way, I believe we are 3/4 of the route done. At this point in the route, there is a pathway that goes in both the left and the right side. I believe there is a abandoned shop in the left side. Let me quickly just check it out. I've also gone ahead and used a scent, which is an item that will stop encountering any TemTems in the wild, or at least reduce it. For now, I think it's pretty helpful. We do find a sticker right here. As you might have seen, there was a bit of a sparkle on the ground. As I mentioned before, it's a bit trickier to find it. But we are almost there. Just around 3 tamers left. Here we have 2 of them. Let me quickly go ahead and defeat them as well. Now, since this game is on the server, sometimes the battles do load a bit slower. So I would definitely recommend having a really good internet connection if you are playing this game. In my case, thankfully I am able to speed up this video, and that's how I'm able to go through it so fast. In real time, I believe this whole pathway took me around 15 minutes with me going back and forth to the Temporium to heal up my TemTems. Either way, these 2 tamers are pretty powerful. They do have fully evolved TemTems, and this is gonna be kind of a thing. This is the reason why in the very first episode I did talk about how the battles are quite challenging in this game. These are just the normal tamers. Alright, 1 second. Kaku did evolve into Saku, which is really cool. It is super powerful now that it has fully evolved, and I think it will be able to do more damage. But going back to the topic, I believe once you go through a boss battle, I think you would get to know how tough this game is. After all, they do have some really good moveset. Even though their TemTems are gonna be a bit lower in level, they do have powerful moves that do a lot of damage. Alright, it seems that we are getting pretty good in these battles, especially now that most of my TemTems are leveling up. That was a really good battle right there. The other thing is that unlike Pokemon, where after the battle the Pokemon evolves, in this game the TemTems actually evolve mid-battle, which is actually a plus point, especially if you are in a tough spot or having a really tough battle. Right here we are on the edge of a cliff. I believe that we just got a new quest, but the NPC actually wants us to find a TemTem called Banshee, which we'll be able to find in an area called Winford Fort. It's an area that we'll be exploring maybe in the upcoming episodes. So for now, this quest is just gonna be kept in the side. But it seems that we have actually come to Arissola. We do have a small patch of grass here down below. Unfortunately, it is not accessible for us right now, but that's alright. I do go ahead and head out to the dojo. It's actually funny that they do have a dojo doorman, but apparently Sophia is stuck in Winford Fort and hasn't yet come back. Suspicious, and definitely something for us to actually explore. But of course, now that we are here, let me quickly go ahead and explore Arissola as well. Even though it is a pretty large city, it's pretty easy for me to find out where I'm supposed to go. Gifted Bridge is where we'll be going to continue our storyline. But for now, I'm just gonna try and follow the exclamation mark in the map. That's where we'll be able to find different quests. Right here we have a tour operator who wants us to help her. Sure, why not? I guess we would have to just go ahead and answer a couple of questions with this group of people here. Unfortunately, I do not know the answers, so I'll just do a couple of guessworks. The first one is the first option. The second one is the second option. Oh, never mind. Alright, I guess it's the third option. That's good. For the third one, I guess it's the third option. Whoops, never mind. I would personally recommend just doing the guesswork, and if you're not really interested in guessing it, you can definitely check it out in the internet or just see the options that I am selecting right here. It took me around 5 to 6 tries to answer all of the questions. Of course, if you want to go through the right path, you'll be able to find a board that is right next to the dojo, which will actually talk about all of these answers. But there we go, I was able to complete it. But of course, there's one more left. This is also a multiple question kind of quest. Once more, I'm just gonna struggle through it, even though I really don't have the answers. Hopefully it doesn't take me too long. I believe that for this quest, I just looked it up in the internet the last time I did playthrough. Although I do remember some of the answers, the others are actually wrong. But I do get it at the end. You can definitely go ahead and look through the options when you are going through this game. Personally, I have already gone through this dialogue, so that's the reason why I'm going through it as fast as possible right here. It seems that we have one more question left, and it was probably the second one. I did put the wrong answer here. Either way, let me go through the dialog box again. Thankfully, once you do go through the right answer, it is actually locked in. That way it is so much easier. But there we go, we do get a energetic kiwi, which is another really cool item. But let me quickly check out the map, and it seems that we have one more question mark left, which is inside this house. Let me make my way in. And apparently it's this NPC right here, Laura. Alright. She wants us to go through a particular book. No problem. But of course I do have to go through a particular area for this one, which is pretty far. Alright, I guess we could take up this quest as well. But I believe that's all the quests in this area. That's all on this town as well. You might be able to find a couple of stickers running around in this city. But for now, that's all. In the next episode, we are gonna go ahead and check out the gifted bridges, which is the next area. But of course, hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please put a like, and if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to my channel, as it does help me a lot. If you'd like to support me more on Patreon, check out the links in my description, and I'll see you all in the next one.